counters often, but by and large, a very good round for Yanni Perez.
And now during the course of that action, an accidental headbutt by Agbeko on the forehead of Perez.
So that was ruled an accidental headbutt.
Yes.
All right. Well,
they were working on the cut in the Perez corner.
So if this fight would be stopped because of that cut, they would go to the scorecards.
That is the rule after the end of round 4. We're in 7, scheduled for 12. The IBF Bantamweight Championship. It has been blistering action.
Now that was what the Perez people were very worried about, but he brought that on himself. He's fighting on the inside. If you do that against Agbeko, it could happen. Agbeko is energized in this round and having a great first minute of round 7.
And as Agbeko comes on, let's take another peek at press row. One has it even Ryan Bates. Press row judges have it a majority decision to this point for Perez.
I have it dead even in this fight. That clash of heads and, you know, the same promotional group that handles Darchinian handles Yanni Perez, and they feel the Darchinian fight turned a bit because of clashes of heads. This fight has turned because of that clash of heads. There's no question Agbeko is energized in this round and doing better.
And as you were saying that, Al, Agbeko landed a good right hand to the head of Perez. Solid shot. Amazing pace to this fight.
Perez's punches lack a little of the steam of the last round. He's throwing a little wider with those punches with less intensity.
Well, in the fight buildup, Agbeko insisted. Oh, look out, there goes the head again, right, Al?
Yeah, and I tell you, that one looked kind of intentional by Joseph Agbeko. Is there such a thing as kind of intentional?
Well, kind of. He does have a habit of bending the rules from time to time, with his head mostly. But before the fight, he said ultimately Perez will not be able to take his punches for 12 rounds. We'll see. The thing is, can Perez take the head of Agbeko for 12 rounds?
See how the punches by Perez are pushed a little bit more. They're not as sharp as they were.
Agbeko in phenomenal physical condition. Perez in great condition too, but seems like Agbeko has a little more energy here in round 7.
Johnny, tú necesitas pelear tu pelea, okay? Siéntate en la derecha.
You gotta sit on this sleeve that you have.
In round 6, what opened the cut over Yanni Perez's eye was this clash of heads. Well, the head is down, as you can see, for Agbeko. He's kind of charging in like a bull. And he took some punches for his trouble, but ultimately we believe that's where the cut was landed or created. Then in round 7, what looked like a kind of a blatant use of the head, and I would say it was a blatant use of the head, that was more to the mouth of Yanni Perez, and he had a moment where he wanted to get Robert Byrd's attention over that one.
As we mentioned earlier, Perez's promoter, Gary Shaw, extremely concerned about what he would characterize as a third fist, the head of Agbeko.
It's had an impact in other fights, that's for sure, and is having one in this fight as well.
Round 8 scheduled for 12, the IBF Bantamweight Championship. The champion, Joseph King Kong Agbeko, in the black trunks with the silver trim. The challenger, Yanni Perez, the #1 contender, undefeated, in the white trunks. It has been a stirring affair.
Get off his neck.
Wide left hook that scored for Agbeko.
You know, an important point, in Perez's corner, they think he's ahead in this fight for sure, and they think it's a real lead. When they said sit on your lead, they're saying box a little more, try and protect yourself a bit, which I don't think is a bad idea, even if he's doesn't have a big lead.
Yeah, let's see if he starts doing what Agbeko expected him to do early on.
Now, interestingly, he has not followed his corner's advice. Perez has gone right after Agbeko and isn't doing that bad in this round.
And he's pushing Agbeko back.
So go figure.
He's trying to pin him in the corner.
Agbeko almost looks like he's trying to lure Perez in.
Yeah, sort of an Arthur Abraham strategy.
Yeah. The only thing is he doesn't put his hands up like Abraham.
Yeah.
You're kind of supposed to block those punches.
Exactly. There is a minor difference.
And Perez is having a very good 8th round. This fight is very difficult. The last 4 rounds have been bizarre. Each man has dominated one of the last 4 rounds.
It's an intriguing fight.
And just when you thought Perez was on the downslide, he comes back with a very good first 2 minutes of round 8. See if it can continue.
Minute to go in the 8th. If you're just tuning in, it has been like this from the opening bell. Relentless action. Look at it.
Big right hand in that sequence by Perez. But Agbeko giving some good shots as well. Now, is this flurry by Agbeko enough to get him back in this round? Will the judges remember the last minute instead of the first 2 minutes?
Right up above us. Wow. Agbeko. Great camera work right on top of the action.
From the point of view of Perez as he tries to fend off Joseph Agbeko.
Unbelievable action.
Let me work. Yanni Perez at a place he doesn't want to be, against the ropes, trying to counter off those ropes as Agbeko attacks. See how dangerous the Agbeko head is in there when he's close by. He comes up with his head, and there's always the danger of a clash of heads. But that was a good last sequence in the round for Agbeko. The first 2 minutes were very good for Perez, so what do the judges remember from that fight? Or that round, I should say.
2 warriors get set for round 9, scheduled for 12. So here we are in the later rounds, where, as we pointed out a few rounds ago, things could get mighty interesting.
We should point out that Perez is 1-0 in 12-round fights, and a 3-1 record, I believe, for a 4-1 record for Agbeko. Only lost to Sidorenko, who, by the way, is in the building here tonight, former champion in this weight division.
Vladimir Sidorenko in 04, and that was a majority decision.
Yeah, very close fight. It could have gone Agbeko's way. Now, the last 4 rounds, I mentioned, each man has dominated one of those rounds. Will this one be closer? Perez with some huge combinations there.
Looks like Perez has sort of regained his composure here.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. After that, in round 7, it looked like he was very discouraged because of that cut.
Sort of has a second win now.
Well, that's the thing that marks both these men as fighters. They're very resilient, they have a lot of grit, and they have no quit in them.
Another look at press row scoring. Our panel sees it this way. 2 guys have it for Perez by 2 points. And let's see, Ryan Bates has Agbeko by 2 points. It's a split.
And I am splitting the difference because I still have it even.
Wow. This is fun tonight.
Watch your head, watch your head.
Egbeko getting his right hand in better during this round than he was in the last one.
Well, they said it would be an entertaining fight, and it lived up to billing. How can it not be with these two guys?
We already knew who Joseph Egbeko was from the win over Darcini. We've seen him win his title here on Showtime. Yanni Perez, not, as you said, not exactly a household name, but respected in boxing circles. People should know who he is now. He's a good bantamweight.
Showbox alum, you know, no matter who wins this fight, doesn't matter. They both won us over. Final seconds, round 9.